Brentford 1, Liverpool 4. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's another weekend of exciting Premier League action, and it was all kicked off at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Brentford took on Liverpool. What could have been a very difficult game for the current league leaders actually turned out to be a pretty comfortable 4-1 victory in favour of Jurgen Klopp's side. Goals from Darwin Núñez, Alexis McAllister, Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo all secured a big 3 points for Jurgen Klopp's side at the expense of Brentford, who didn't really turn up today, in all honesty. This is obviously the instant match reaction, so we're going to get into the game and what obviously the result means for the Reds and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you lot to get involved down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on Liverpool, on Brentford, on the game today, on the Premier League, and the Premier League title race as a whole. Everything and anything like that will make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure. So please do get involved down below in the comments section. Would love to read all of them comments from you all. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk the game today. A big 4-1 victory in favour of Liverpool. Look, this had all the makings for a banana skin fixture for the Reds. It's a ground in which Liverpool have never won at since Brentford came up to the Premier League. It's a team that, with the way that they play, their style of play in contrast to Liverpool, has worked effectively against Liverpool for the past few times that these two teams have met, and has proven as such that Brentford normally pose a lot of danger to the Reds, particularly the back line in terms of their counter-attacking display. And of course, add on to that, Liverpool are away from home and it is a 12:30 kickoff. The old 12:30 kickoff demon that has been plaguing a lot of games in recent years under Jurgen Klopp. But Liverpool overcome it and came through with pretty much near perfection. It wasn't exactly the most perfect and most fluid of performances by Jurgen Klopp's side, despite obviously scoring 4 goals. But it was still very dangerous. It was still very solid. And at the end of the day, it was still a pretty good performance overall to obviously get the 3 points when it mattered most. Start things off, Darwin Núñez, beautiful goal. I think Brentford may have looked better in the first half. They looked a bit more of a threat than when they did. That threat kind of dwindled a little bit as the game wore on. But he was the one player in Liverpool colours that was looking very dangerous. He was making some good runs and playing some good balls in behind the high line of Brentford, and capped off his performance with a very good goal. Jota sets him up and they take advantage of the high line that Brentford were playing and the high risk that Brentford were playing for Núñez to go through one-on-one on goal, and he dinks the goalkeeper with perfection, with ease and with pure high quality and class. It was an amazing goal by Darwin Núñez to score in obviously a moment where a lot of fans were maybe thinking, oh, it's Núñez one-on-one with the goalkeeper. We know how sometimes these can work. There was no mistake this time from Núñez. And, you know, I've got to say, he's on a bit of a run right now. He's picked up a bit of a head of steam. There's a bit of form and a bit of momentum in his favour. And I'm really looking forward to what will come next for Darwin Núñez, because he seems like, I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like he's finally turning a corner, and he's getting more regular on the score sheet, and he really set Liverpool rolling and set the ball rolling on today's game. Alexis McAllister gets the second goal, a great pass by Mohamed Salah, making obviously his return to the Liverpool side. He assisted in the McAllister goal, in which he managed to break free inside the penalty area and find the back of the net. Salah himself then gets a goal for himself to add to his goal scoring account for the season. A lovely solo bit of play to beat the defender, and then obviously to finish well into the bottom corner. What a way to mark his return to the Liverpool team by getting an assist and a goal for the Egyptian king of Liverpool, of course. And then, of course, Brentford get a goal back, a consolation goal as it proved through Ivan Toney. Again, it was a good save by Kelleher, who didn't really have a lot to do in the Liverpool goal, in all honesty. But he made a decent stop. But Ivan Toney was on hand to turn home the rebound. And it kind of left it open for maybe a big 20 minutes for Brentford, and a very nervy 20 minutes at that for Liverpool, potentially. But Brentford's threat, like I say, was dwindling as the game wore on, and Liverpool eventually killed the game off completely, if it wasn't so done already, with Cody Gakpo, a calamity of errors in the back line for Brentford, allowed Gakpo to go through on goal, and he made no mistake in firing beyond Flecken in the Bees' net. A great performance. A great performance. Not perfect, not perfect by any means, but a very, very solid, very good performance, and it lays the groundwork for a weekend ahead in which Arsenal's game should be a formality. With all due respect to Burnley, Arsenal's game should be a formality, and Arsenal should be winning that pretty comfortably. And although you probably would expect City to go on and beat Chelsea, especially with them being at the Etihad and being at home, obviously, we found out earlier on in the season, Chelsea were no pushovers when it came to Manchester City, and that's what obviously played out to be one of the more exciting games of the season with that incredible 4-4 draw. So it's not a foregone conclusion there, although you would expect the two favourites to go on and win. But it does put a little bit extra pressure on them to obviously keep up the momentum with Liverpool in this catch-as-if-you-can scenario that the Reds and Jurgen Klopp played out today. Look, I thought the overall gameplay was very good from Liverpool. I was a bit surprised by Brentford, really, in terms of them allowing us so much space in behind the defence. I really thought Brentford were going to... I know that they tend to play on the front foot a little bit, and they try to play a bit more of a pressing style, and obviously a bit more open and expansive than certain teams, than certain other teams, of course. But I was so surprised that when you're looking at a side that's got the likes of Luis Diaz running one side and Darwin Núñez running the other in the first half, they just continued to play that high line. And even when Liverpool went a goal up, they were still playing that high-risk kind of football that Liverpool were just getting it in behind time and time again. Had their final ball maybe been a bit better, maybe we could have been looking at a more emphatic scoreline than just the 4-1. It could have been even more for Liverpool. But no, solid 4-1 win, 4 goal scorers. Some very good goals in there as well. Darwin Núñez in particular was exquisite with that chip, like I say. Salah's pass for the McAllister goal was very good as well, and obviously his goal himself, the Egyptian King, was absolutely beautifully well taken. What a way to announce his return to Liverpool, and he's going to need to as well, because if there is going to be a couple of dampeners on the game, if there is going to be a couple of things to overshadow the game, not only is it going to be obviously the lack of a clean sheet, which I don't think Kelleher could have done anything else about it. He only had one save to make, I believe, in the entire game, and that was obviously the save from the player who shot before Ivan Toney turned in the rebound. The other dark light on this game was obviously the amount of injuries Liverpool picked up. Curtis Jones was first to drop. He was replaced by Ryan Gravenberch in the first half. And then, of course, Diogo Jota picked up an injury that saw him be replaced, and obviously saw Mohamed Salah's introduction or reintroduction back into the Liverpool first team happen a little bit earlier than what I think Jurgen Klopp would have liked and expected. So they were dampeners on the game as well. Darwin Núñez also came off at half-time. We're still not 100% clear what was the issue with him, but with how well he was playing in that first half, I highly doubt it was tactical. I reckon it was something, either another injury or maybe a precaution to a potential injury as far as what Núñez is concerned. Fingers crossed it is nothing serious for all three of them, particularly without injury issues seemingly piling up, with, of course, Thiago being back injured. Bajcetic is seemingly not close to returning anytime soon. Trent, obviously the latest to be ruled out for a while. Dominic Szoboszlai, obviously he's going to be out for a few more weeks yet. And obviously Alisson Becker, as we realised yesterday, is going to be out with a hamstring injury as well for a few more weeks. So it's a big few weeks for Liverpool to obviously steady the ship, and obviously hopefully to get no more injuries, and to obviously plug the gaps of those injuries. But I've got to say, it was another great performance by Connor Bradley. So I think our right back situation is solid, and obviously Joe Gomez can come back in to that role and wherever he is needed. Andy Robertson was decent as well. I know that obviously he's still finding his feet since returning back to injury again, so obviously that's going to be big for him, a big game for him. Like I said, Kelleher was solid as well, only had one real save to make in the game. Van Dijk, Konate, solid. Midfield was decent, and like I say, the forward three, or the forward four should I say, if you obviously include Salah's introduction, was solid throughout. Jota, even in the 30 to 35 minutes or whatever it was of his game before obviously being called off with injury, he had a pretty solid game as well, in which he had a couple of moments where he was looking pretty good. Connor Bradley, by the way, I know that I mentioned him a few moments ago. Connor Bradley, solid, and he is looking for more goals, that kid. He is unbelievable. The confidence he has, the way that he's taken to the Liverpool first team, the way he's seamlessly just slotted into that right back position, absolutely perfect for a guy making the leap to the senior level. So again, another great performance from him, and we're going to need more performances like that as we continue with obviously what is going to be a very important and very crucial few weeks ahead. Liverpool obviously go back to the top of the table. They go back 5 points clear at the time of recording. Obviously Arsenal will probably close that gap later, and maybe Manchester City will as well later on tonight. But Liverpool go 5 points clear, and like I say, I think it was a solid performance throughout. I think Brentford really helped us in terms of the way that they approached and they played with such a high risk, high line, that it just played into Liverpool's hands perfectly. And like I said, once they got that first goal, the floodgates then opened, the chances were being created, and Liverpool really did do a very good job in setting the ball rolling, despite, like I said at the top of the video, what could have been very difficult circumstances and awkward ones at that, given previous history. Liverpool go back 5 points clear. They now turn their attention to Wednesday night's game. I believe it's against Luton. I believe Liverpool are at home though, so Liverpool should get the job done there. They should be fine with that game, I know Luton have given some of the bigger teams, and including Liverpool themselves, a big run for their money across this campaign and across this season so far, but Liverpool should be fine. They should be fine in that one. Get the 3 points there, because obviously next weekend's the big one. Next weekend is the cup final. Next weekend is the Carabao Cup final, in which Liverpool will take on Chelsea at Wembley. So it is a big week ahead for Liverpool, in which they will have a massive Premier League game against Luton to contend with, before a few days later going on to face Chelsea for the first piece of real silverware to be contested this season, in the form of the Carabao Cup, of course. A massive week ahead for Jurgen Klopp's side. Fingers crossed the injuries don't continue to pile up. Hopefully we get some good news on the injury front. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for either Jota or Jones in particular. As for Núñez, I'm hoping it was more a precaution that can obviously be nurtured and rested and obviously worked on across the week. So hopefully it's nothing too serious for Núñez either, if obviously it was something of an injury concern for the Uruguayan international. But other than that, other than the few dark marks on this video, in terms of overshadowing this performance with a few injuries, and obviously injuries that have occurred for the past few weeks, I've got nothing to complain about, and I've got every reason to be happy. Liverpool going strong, top of the table, 5 points clear at the top of at the time of recording, and obviously are going into a huge week ahead, in which now they can sit back for the weekend, they can see how the rest of the football plays out, but then they can obviously switch focus quickly onto the game against Luton on Wednesday and the huge cup final that's to come a week from tomorrow. Yeah, big win, huge win, big 3 points, massive 4-1 victory for Liverpool and for Jurgen Klopp. Big congratulations to them. Huge performance. Brilliant performance, brilliant win. Loved every second of it. Very calm, very composed, very professional from a Liverpool standpoint. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of all the things I've talked about in this video in regards to Brentford, in regards to Liverpool, in regards to the game today, and of course the Premier League and the Premier League title race? I'd love to know all of your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, in this video down below, in the comment section down below, because I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Premier Instant Match reaction, Fletch Talks video kind of thing, whatever it may be. Yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by and watching. Thank you all very much. Take care, peace out, and I'll see you and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks again. See you soon. Up the Reds.